The church was silent, but the silence was heavy, almost suffocating. Sunlight streamed through the tall stained glass windows, casting colorful patterns across the polished wooden pews. A hush had fallen over the congregation as Senator John Kennedy, standing at the pulpit, bowed his head in prayer. Every eye was fixed on him, or at least, everyone's except Michelle Obama's. She sat near the back, poised yet uneasy, her hands gripping the edge of the pew. And then, without warning, she stood and walked out. The sudden movement startled everyone. Whispers rippled through the church like a wave, sharp and incredulous. Some looked on in confusion, others in silent judgment. Michelle's steps were deliberate, each one echoing through the hallowed hall. Her departure wasn't loud or dramatic, but it carried an unmistakable weight, the weight of a message that didn't need to be spoken aloud. Outside, the crisp autumn air enveloped her, yet it did little to calm the turmoil churning inside her. She paused at the church doors, taking a deep breath, her mind a storm of thoughts and emotions. Inside, Kennedy remained at the pulpit. He had sensed the tension, had noticed the movement, yet he did not falter. Instead, he looked out at the remaining congregation, a calm authority radiating from him, and something remarkable happened. He didn't resume the prayer or continue the service immediately. He waited. He waited with patience that bordered on discomfort, as if the church itself were holding its breath, waiting to see what he would do next. Then, in a quiet but steady voice, he spoke, not a sermon, not a rebuke, but words that would ripple far beyond the walls of that church. "My friends," he began, "we are all on a journey. And sometimes, that journey takes us to a place where silence speaks louder than words, where action carries more meaning than prayer." He paused, scanning the congregation, his eyes finally settling on the empty space where Michelle had been sitting. Even when someone walks away, it is not a rejection of faith, but a call for understanding, a search for something deeper than what we can see from the pews. Outside, Michelle leaned against the cold brick wall, struggling to steady her racing heart. She hadn't walked out in anger, far from it. Her decision had been a culmination of doubts, of questions she had been carrying for years about what it truly meant to be present in faith, in society, and in moments that demanded authenticity. She wondered if Kennedy's prayer would ever reach her, not in the words themselves, but in the gesture that followed. Minutes passed, though it felt like hours. Then she heard it, a door opening. Footsteps approached, slow and deliberate. Kennedy emerged, walking down the church steps, not with pomp but with an unmistakable sense of purpose. He didn't chastise or call her out. Instead, he approached her gently, stopping at a respectful distance. "Michelle," he said, his voice steady and kind,